If you think you missed the boat in real estate and you think it's impossible to retire early, I want you to think again. In this video, we're going to go over 9 ways that you can retire early if you're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, playing catch up in your 60s. We're going to give you some amazing ideas on how to make money in real estate, get that cash flow up, hit that freedom number so you can exit the rat race. And these are not pie in the sky ideas. These are actual practical approaches, not theoretical. These are things that we do and our clients do all the time, and you can do them too. Number one, and I think this is the easiest way for you to build massive amount of wealth in real estate, it is to house hack. And a house hack is to purchase a property owner occupied. And that could be anywhere between 1 to 4 units. Up to 4 units, aka a fourplex, can be purchased with residential financing. You don't even have to get commercial debt. So if you go in, you own or occupy it, you're going to get the cheaper debt, you're going to get the lower down payment, which means you could even purchase a fourplex with an FHA loan. That's as little as 3.5% down. What happens if you could get the seller to pay all the closing costs? You could literally be into the property for 3.5% down and own 4 units. One of the biggest reasons this works so well is it's going to offset your living expenses. If you could find a property where you can live in 1 unit, and let's just say it's a triplex, what if the other 2 units make it so you can live there almost rent free? Then you could be saving that monthly payment every month to go buy the next one. One of the biggest barriers to retirement is getting the investment capital. So anything that you can do to lower those monthly expenses will massively increase your timeline. This should come as no surprise. But you have to focus on number 2, which is focus on cash flow, not appreciation. You can't eat appreciation, but you can eat cash flow. And what I mean by that is cash flow creates the ability for you and your family to be able to live off of that monthly income, for you to be able to go on vacation and have it come in every month, regardless of what's happening. For my big investors who have lots of cash flow, they don't care if a recession's coming because the monthly payments are always coming in. And people say, well, what about rents during a recession? Rents generally don't go down that much in a recession, if they do at all. Here in the Seattle Metro during the great financial crisis, my rental properties, they went down this many dollars. 0. Now, we did have some people double up and multiple people living in the home together in order to pay the rent, but we actually didn't end up with a bunch of evictions and our rents didn't go down. And that's the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. One of those pro tips that you should be looking at for cash flow is called the 1% rule. If you can purchase a property and you know the cash flow is going to be 1% of the purchase price, you should absolutely buy it. Let me give you an example so we're on the same page. This means you're going to go purchase a duplex for 500 grand. PS, those don't exist in my hood, but let's just pretend. And the 1% rule would mean you're getting $5,000 a month in rent. If you're getting $5,000 a month in rent and you can purchase it for 500 grand, you should absolutely buy that property. It's most likely a deal. Of course, do your own due diligence, run all the numbers, but that's the 1% rule. Number 3, we talked about this in the house hack strategy, but this is unbelievably true as you're growing your rental property portfolio. Residential multifamily, aka 2 units, 3 units, and 4 units is going to be the ticket when you first get started. And the reason for that is it's so much easier to qualify for. If I'm going to buy 5 units and above, I've got to get into commercial debt. And that's not the point of this video. We have other videos that talk about commercial debt and what that means. But residential debt is going to have easier income qualifications, lower down payments. And if you house hack them, you can get into them even quicker. Number 4 is strategic leverage. Strategic leverage is when you own a home and you have a lot of equity in it. So you go get a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, in order to be able to go purchase your next property, or you do a cash out refinance on that first one to be able to purchase the next property. PS, the same thing applies to your rental properties. If they've got a lot of equity inside of them, we're then going to be looking at doing a 1031 exchange, selling that property and purchasing more units, or a cash out refi, or a line of credit. Conversely, now this one's a little bit more of an advanced strategy. As you grow your stock portfolio, you can take a line of credit against your stock portfolio. Generally generally for around 50 to 60% of the value. So as your stock portfolio grows and you've got $1 million portfolio, yes, I realize this takes time, but then you could go borrow 500 grand. Today, I'm borrowing money against my portfolio at 5.33%. So all of a sudden, now I've got access to $500,000. I could go flip a house. I could go do a land development project. I could go buy another rental, then use the cash flow to pay back that line of credit. The beauty of lines of credit against your stock portfolio is now your money is making money twice. You literally got your money a side hustle. It got a second job. This is unbelievable money on making money strategy. I love it. It does take a while to build this one, and you can also use life insurance as a similar vehicle. Number 5, let's accelerate that cash flow. Well, how could we do that? That's midterm rentals and short-term rentals. The thing to take into immediate consideration is a midterm rental or a short-term rental is more of an active management. It is going to take more of your time because you're going to have people moving in and out on a more regular basis, which means more cleaning, more maintenance, more check-ins, more checkouts. However, having said that, midterm rentals and short-term rentals at times could get you anywhere between 2 to 5x the cash flow you would get from a traditional rental property. Also, short-term rentals have the short-term rental loophole, which is a tax loophole, which would allow you to qualify for bonus depreciation. And we believe this year that we're going to get some version of the CARES Act 2, and we're going to get back to 100% bonus depreciation. So this could give you a massive write-off for your taxes, especially if you're a high-income W-2 earner, like a lot of our tech workers are here in the Seattle metro. Number 6, this one will allow you to get your cash back out of the project and just keep rolling. It's called the BRRRR. You're going to buy it, you're going to rehab it, you're going to rent it, you're going to refinance it, then you're going to repeat it. How this strategy generally works at an amazing level is you need to buy something that's 15 to 30% below market value to start with. It's going to need some love. And then you're going to go through and you're going to rehab the whole property, thus increasing the as repaired value or the market value of the property. Your goal is to create 25% equity in that property, so then you can refinance and grab all that cash back. When we're looking at something to flip, we generally want to buy it a minimum of 30% below market. But there may be examples where you may be able to do it with less equity. By forcing the appreciation, this causes the velocity of your capital to increase, allows you to cycle your money, and to keep doing this over and over and over again. A tip that you need to take into consideration if you're going to do this is you need to have contractor relationships, you need to have lender relationships, subcontractor relationships as you do this so you can do this fast. The biggest mistake that people make is they spend too much time. And so what happens is instead of the project taking 90 days, they let it take 6 months or a year, and their monthly payments, aka their holding costs, eats all the upside. Don't let that happen to you. Second bonus tip, we call it the big boy BRRRR. What if you did a land development project and you created 10 to 20% lift in the land? Then you built brand new homes and created another 10 to 20% lift. Then when you go to refinance it, you can basically grab all that cash back and keep rolling. That's the big boy and big girl BRRRR, and you can do it with more than one unit, which allows you to scale even faster. Number 7, you may need to look at investing in out-of-state markets. Here in the Seattle metro, we are not a high cash flow market. We are an appreciation market. May have to go look in other parts of the country, such as the Midwest and the South, that'll give you higher cash flow. See, our cash flow, what we're looking for is we're looking for our freedom number. So if your expenses are 10 grand a month, you're looking to get 10 grand a month in cash flow. Once I have 10 grand a month in cash flow, you are completely free. Number 8, this one will take a little more time, but it's a strategy that I employ every year. It is called the real estate professional tax status. To be a real estate professional, you have to be able to log 750 hours a year in real estate, or you get a real estate license like I have. I am a managing broker because we own brokerages and I have a real estate sales team. What that does though is that basically gives us unlimited write-offs for interest and depreciation. So you can write your income down to almost nothing. So every year what we do is we have multiple multiple meetings with our tax advisor, so a tax strategist, and our accountant. We have them on a quarterly basis. We say, this is the amount of money we're making, this is the amount we've already paid in taxes, this is what we think we're going to end. And then they tell us how much real estate we need to keep in order to eat that tax bill. This is one of those massive tricks where the rich get richer. Please, please use this hack, because what you hear in the news is the rich aren't paying their fair share in taxes. And the government gives you an incentive to do this because they're helping society by creating more housing and having more housing available for rent that keeps a solid society. So they then reward you with awesome tax benefits. Please, please work on getting this one. And number 9 is designing the plan for the freedom number. And when I say designing the plan, here's what I mean. If the expenses are 10 grand a month, then we need 10,000 in cash flow. But I want you to kind of reverse engineer this. Every time I have consultations with investors who say, I don't have enough income to invest today, what we generally find is people are blowing thousands and thousands of dollars on nothing. They have too many Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Paramount subscriptions. They have a subscription to Spotify, Pandora, YouTube. There's just too many of them adding up. You don't need all of these. You have to limit the amount of money you're spending on a monthly basis in order to get your investable income up. You have to have some investable income for you to be able to do these actual strategies. You're going to treat real estate like its own retirement plan. You need to look at how much do you need to purchase on a regular basis, what does the cash flow need to be, and by when do you need to do it in order to get free of the machine. You're then going to build your own real estate portfolio to match this. I want to leave you with a bonus idea. The bonus idea too is this is also a little bit of a traditional route. What if you could get owner financing on these properties and put less down? What if you could use lease options as a vehicle to control the real estate, create some upside, and then sell the option? Maybe via a land development deal or a rent-to-own deal. There are other ways where you can do this without as much cash. So don't be fooled when people say it takes money to make money. It actually takes deals to be able to make money, and understanding and knowing the market and knowing when you've seen a deal and then being able to write an offer on that deal and put it under contract. I'm Anton Stetner. I love chatting about real estate investing. These are things that we've done ourselves and with our clients for the last 20 years here in the Seattle Metro. So drop your questions below, hit that magic subscribe button, and share this with a person who also wants to retire early.